Welcome to the graduation ceremonies of Paducah Community College. Please remain standing as the Paducah Community College Chorus, under the direction of Mr. Norman Wergler, sings our national anthem. Gentlemen, please remove your mortarboards. Ladies may do so if you wish. Please be seated. Welcome to this very special occasion, especially for our graduates and their families, but also faculty and friends. It is truly a great night for us to be here, and we have with us some very honored guests that I would like to introduce. Mrs. Eloise Newton, the wife of our commencement speaker, General Lloyd Newton. Colonel James McBride, President of the Community College of the Air Force. And Mrs. Darlene O'Hara, wife of our college president. State Senator Bob Leeper and his fiancée, Gina Hammer. And PJC Development Council member, Kathy Crecilius. As I introduce our platform guests, kindly hold your applause until all have been introduced. General Lloyd Newton, United States Air Force, our commencement speaker. Dr. Leonard O'Hara, President of Paducah Community College. The Paducah Junior College and Community College Board of Trustees, Mr. Joe Frampton, Chairperson. Ms. Ann Gwynn, Treasurer. Ms. Sylvia Mathis, At-Large Representative. Judge William Howerton. Mr. B.A. Hamilton, Mr. Lewis Michelson, Dr. Wally Montgomery, Mr. Robert Powers, and Mr. Paul Wood, our faculty representative, and Ms. Rachel Wallace, student representative, Mr. Andrew Halford, senior faculty member, Dr. Shirley Menendez, Kentucky Council on Post-Secondary Education, Mr. William Beasley, Kentucky Community and Technical College System Board Member, and our deans, Anton Reese, Dean of Student Affairs, and John Carrico, Dean of Business Affairs. We thank each of you for your many contributions you make to this college. Ms. Rachel Wallace, the 1999-2000 President of the Student Government Association, will bring greetings on behalf of her classmates. Rachel.
Good evening. It has truly been an honor for me to serve as your student body president, It has allowed me to see this administration's hard work and willingness to provide resources to our students in technology as well as finance pizza throughout the year. On behalf of all of the students, I would like to express how truly grateful we are to our faculty's countless hours that they've spent in making us successful. Your dedication has not gone unnoticed. Tonight we come to a crossroads. We celebrate our friendships as well as our accomplishments, but we also turn our eyes to our future and find ourselves equipped to strive for our dreams. Many of us are prepared for the workplace, and some will be moving away, continuing in education. But regardless where our road may lead us, we are adequately prepared to take that next step. I would, however, like to challenge both faculty and students. To the students, I challenge you to continue to pursue in excellence, and in everything that you do, to do it with all of your heart. And to the faculty, I challenge you to continue your hard work that allows our students to feel empowered and to help us to continue to be successful in our individual pursuits. And last, I would like to take this time to thank my parents for their continual love and support. I love you both. And I would like to thank my God for his continual strength and guidance that he has given me. He has blessed me and overwhelmed me in all the things that he's given me. Thank you so much.
For 32 years, I've either been a faculty member or had the privilege of leading faculty. And I will tell you now what I tell this faculty: they are clearly the best. They know their jobs, and they do their jobs well. But most of all, they have their sights set clearly on you, the students. What differentiates them most from the rest is their willingness and readiness to accept and embrace the avalanche of change that you and your work life must accommodate. Even though they are already outstanding, they do not hide within those comfort zones. They are Kentucky's leaders in educational modalities of the 21st century, and they constantly work to keep you ready for what comes next. Frankly, I tire of critics of higher education who pander to political whims and fashions, those people who claim that educators are relics who hide behind such things as tenure, or who break out those tired yellowing notes year after year. Let them come to PCC and see that while we proudly honor our traditions, we are not slaves to them. Let them meet the truly professional faculty of this college, and let them see that this group of professionals has the requisite knowledge, fears little, and has their focus set on a world which our students will be expected to shape and to lead. I ask the faculty to stand now so that you may join me in saluting this collection of exceptional educators.
"269 combat missions in Vietnam, including 79 over North Vietnam." Narrator, slot pilot and right wingman of the Thunderbirds, the U.S. Air Force Aerial Demonstration Squadron. A command pilot with more than 4,000 flying hours. Has flown the T-37, the T-38, the F-4, the F-15, the F-16, the C-12, and the 117 stealth fighter. This general has a great record as an aviator and a warrior. Air Force Congressional Liaison Officer with the U.S. House of Representatives in Washington, D.C., commanded 3 wings and air division and held numerous staff positions. Director of Operations, J-3, United States Special Operations Command. This general is an outstanding leader. Bachelor of Science degree in Aviation Education from Tennessee State University, Nashville. Armed Forces Staff College, Norfolk, Virginia. Industrial College of the Armed Forces, Washington, D.C. Master of Arts degree in Public Administration, George Washington University. National Security Senior Executives course, Harvard University. Honorary Doctorate in Aeronautical Science, Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, Florida. Honorary Doctor of Science degree, Benedict College, South Carolina. This general believes in the power of education. Today, he is commander of the Air Education and Training Command headquartered at Randolph Air Force Base, Texas. As commander, he is responsible for the recruiting, training, and education of Air Force personnel. His command includes Air Force Recruiting Service, 2 numbered Air Forces, and Air University. Air Education and Training Command consists of 13 bases, more than 43,000 active duty members, and 14,000 civilians. This general is an educator. Aviator, warrior, leader, educator. It is my honor and privilege to welcome to this campus and to present to the Paducah Community College graduating class of 2000 your graduation speaker. With honor, I present General Lloyd W. Newton. Welcome, sir.
Well, thank you so very much for that kind introduction. And ladies and gentlemen, it's a true honor for my wife Eloise and myself, as well as members from my staff, to have the opportunity to come and spend some time in this very wonderful city. I must admit it's my first time in Paducah, Kentucky. Now I only see what I've been missing by being in other places like Nashville, Tennessee, for instance. To Dr. O'Hara, the president of this great institution, thank you so very much for the invitation. And let me tell you a few things about this man and his relationship to the United States Air Force. He and I co-chair the Board of Visitors for the Community College of the Air Force. I'm just kind of a dare. He knows really what's going on, what that really means. That community college is truly responsible for literally thousands of young Americans who are part of our armed forces and our United States Air Force in helping them to transition that study and that training which they have into college credits as they serve their nation and carry out their daily missions. I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, we could not do it without him. For him and that board and part of my staff helped to make education a true reality for many young Americans who are in the light blue uniform. I must also say that I've been extremely excited about the things that I see going on in this city with reference to education. Visiting the middle school today and visiting the campus here, and to hear a lot about your challenge program, your space challenge program that will be coming to the city. What a real honor it will be for those of us that fly to know that such a program is located here in this wonderful city. So to Dr. O'Hara, again, thank you for your friendship. It's an honor for me to have the pleasure of calling him a friend. To the chairman of the board of trustees for this institution, Mr. Joe Frampton, Now, I just learned something new about him today and this evening as well. He has a son in the United States Air Force. He's just made my day, as a matter of fact. And he's also a flyer, flying C-130s. He's going through his training down at Little Rock Air Force Base and shortly off to Alaska. So you can see all of the stars are truly lining up for me this evening because I feel like we are truly in good company. And so it's a real pleasure to be here. Now, I must also say that it's a real pleasure for the class of 2000. It's a pleasure for me to come and share in this very important and most exciting moment with you as well. Now, let there be no doubt about it. I'm quite aware that, next week, next month, next year, you will have no idea who stood before you and gave this commencement address. I've been there times before, and I remember what happened. I've been trying to remember who gave mine, and I have no idea. So, I know that I'm standing between you and walking across this stage. So, with that, I can assure you, you will not get what would be my typical 40-minute speech. Let's try something more on the order of 14 minutes, or even maybe something less than that. You can go ahead and applause, that's just fine. Now, there are many people I think we need to thank tonight because they have been directly responsible for this evening. First of all, I think we need to say thanks to your family and friends and those folks who supported you to get to this point in your lives and to be here this evening. So if you'll join me in a round of applause for them, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you. Next, I think we need to say thanks to Dr. O'Hara and staff and faculty, again, of this great institution. They have clearly prepared you for the future, and they excel in something that is so important to this great nation of ours, and that is the job of educating the leaders of tomorrow. So I think they deserve a round of applause as well. Now, most of all, I want to say thanks to you, the graduates, the graduating class of 2000. You have clearly engaged in the educational process, and you have taken advantage of the opportunities that have come your way so far. And I want to say to you, my heartiest congratulations for a job exceptionally well done. Now, the instructors and staff of Paducah Community College, as again, have prepared you exceptionally well. You can clearly go out and face the future because your world has become larger. It's become larger because of what you have read and what you have heard and what you have experienced. You have a new perspective on the world and one that will pay great dividends for you as you move into the future. You've learned a number of things since you've been in this institution. Things like how to make sacrifices, how to discipline yourselves, how to make difficult and tough choices. You've learned how to manage your time and how to set goals, how to accept challenges, and how to access information from all over the globe. You've learned how to love learning, and you've learned how to communicate effectively, and you also have learned how to become a leader. All of these important skills will pay, again, great dividends for you in the future. You see, you are graduating at an extremely most wonderful time in America because at this point in time, we are at an unequal point of opportunity and hope for the nation. We stand on the mountaintop of this brand new century, and as we look around as a nation, we can see so many exciting things that have happened for us. And if we look to the past, we can see things that has been accomplished that we're clearly thankful for. In looking back, we can see that our unemployment rate is the lowest it's been in the last 40 years. Interest rates are still in the single digits. Inflation is almost unheard of these days. We've had back-to-back budget surpluses, which is the first time that's happened in the last 42 years. Major crime are going down in our major cities. Yes, I would say that Things are going right for America, and so you are at the right point in time to take advantage of all of those opportunities. This is probably the largest peacetime economic boom in the history of the nation. This is a great day for America. It is truly a great day for you, and I would say it's a great day to be an American, or for those who've come to this nation and have become citizens of this great nation of ours. You are at the right place in time, and you have done and continue to do the right kinds of things. You have engaged in the educational process, and that is the best investment that you could have made. It is investment in yourselves. Education, ladies and gentlemen, is by far the foundation of this great society which we have. It is the lifeblood of our well-being, and it is what I call the equalizer for all of us. Without it, almost nothing is possible, and with it, everything is possible. So as you stand on that mountaintop and look around and see all of those wonderful things that have happened behind us, let me urge you this evening to not focus too much on the past, but clearly put your eyes on the future, because it is there where the great possibilities and opportunities to go and explore new frontiers. New horizons have opened to you since you've been here in this community college, and they will continue to open for you as you move into the future. Those opportunities are there, and the more you do, the more they will come. That happened to me when I arrived at Tennessee State. And after I left from Tennessee State, upon getting that foundation in education and moving on to other things in the United States Air Force, it became bigger than life could ever be to me almost. Because the more I did, the more people wanted to help me, the more I accomplished. There were more things to accomplish. And as I was sharing with the middle school this morning, being a four-star general was not my objective. Truly was not my objective. But the more I did, the more people rewarded me for the things that I were doing. And I would suggest to you that those same kinds of opportunities will come for you. You must continue to prepare yourself. You came to this school because obviously you had a goal in mind. And I suggest that you continue to pursue that goal. It wasn't to come here and get an education and stop. It was to come here, get an education, and begin down that real road of success. We as a nation have many choices that we must make right now. We must make choices of whether we will continue to be a leader, a nation as a leader, or a nation that will not lead. And as you and your colleagues will have to come to grips with making those very difficult choices for us as we move into the future. You see, you are our leaders of tomorrow. You must design that future for us, because if you don't, somebody else will. Ladies and gentlemen, it is not about where you are from, or how old you are, or whatever. It is all about where you're planning to go. I have clearly proven that, being from a little town in South Carolina called Ridgeland. It is much smaller than Paducah. We got 2 lights last year, so we're in the fast lanes right now. This goal that you've set out for yourselves and those that we should have for the citizens of tomorrow, you are our best hope for making those goals become a reality. So again, I urge you to look across that horizon and shape the future, create it, so that you can take advantage of the opportunities which it presents. Francis Bacon said, "A wise man makes more opportunities than he can find." So if the opportunities don't knock, then build a door so that one will knock. That way, your future will continue to be bright. Tomorrow brings all kinds of possibilities for this great nation of ours. Because as we look to tomorrow, we find that great ingenuity that we need are invested in you and colleagues like you all over the globe. In the science and the math and the technology, the new innovation, the studies of humanities and of health and of medicine. We need your efforts in all of those areas. We have sitting right here in this room and in this class more senators, more representatives, more judges, more lawyers, more teachers, more presidents. They are all sitting right here. All of those possibilities are there. We are making millionaires in this country every single day. And if that's your goal, then go be a millionaire. You see, another Warren Buffett could be sitting right here in this class. Another Bill Gates, another Colin Powell. All of those possibilities are there for you. And as individuals such as myself find ourselves getting to the sundown phase of our careers, you are at that bright and shiny sunrise phase of yours. And I invite you then to aim high and reach for the moon. And so if you miss, grab a hold of a few stars. They will pay you great dividends. But I must ask you to remember one thing as I leave you. Remember how we got to where we are. It is this great nation, and it was our forebears who went before you and I that prepared this nation in such a way that we can enjoy the peace and the freedoms which we have today. Many of them gave their lives to secure that peace and freedom, and I say that you and I must never let them down. And so while on yesteryear we graduated new graduates such as yourself, and they went to Washington or other places to serve our government, today we seem to be graduating graduates and they go to Wall Street. I say we need some of both. We need you and folks like you to continue to serve this great nation of ours so that we do not fail those that have gone before us. Let me conclude by saying the torch has clearly been passed to you. And the expectation is that you will hold it higher and carry it farther than any of us have ever had the capability to do so. We are so very proud of you, and we expect so very much from you. You are our nation's greatest treasure, and you are our best hope for tomorrow's new nation, new ideas, and new purposes. Let's look forward to a world, and I look forward to a world in which each of you will build in this next century. And I know that you will take care of yourselves and you will take care of each other. My last reminder, don't forget about the great citizens of this great city of Paducah, and please don't forget this great institution of which you're graduating from. My heartiest congratulations, and God bless all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, General Newton, for those words of inspiration and encouragement. It has truly been an honor to hear you speak today and to have you with us in Paducah. Will the candidates please rise? Dr. O'Hara, I present the candidates for graduation. Okay, please rise. Please rise. Now I'll start over. Dr. O'Hara, I present the candidates for graduation, and I certify on behalf of the faculty that they have successfully completed all of the requirements for their respective degrees. The first row of graduates may proceed to the stage. All others may be seated.
Ladies and gentlemen, as the names of the graduates are read, please note that those graduating with distinction have achieved a grade point average of 3.4 to 3.6. Those graduating with high distinction have earned a 3.6 or higher. Students wearing gold stoles are members of the Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society. Graduating with a degree in Associates in Arts, Sarah Beth Ackley. Kimberly Nicole Alexander. Michelle Lee Beck. Robert Dale Bickford. Amy D. Busby. Craig Allen Carter. Amos Antoine Coleman. Nicole J. Cooper. Shannon Leah Copeland. Crystal Jean Ellis. Vicki Lynn Franklin. Deborah Ann Gonzalez. Paula Wayne Purcell Henson. Donald P. Holman. Tasha LeMay Noth. Kieran D. Lee. Bethany Shay Patrice Lyles. Abigail Dawn Martin. Tamara K. May. Christy Lynn Moss. Norma Jean Reed, and she graduates with a perfect 4.0. Jeffrey S. Russell. Allison Noel Schmidt. Lisa Marie Smith. Laurie Terry. Dawn K. Thomas. Mark Allen Wilson. Graduating with a degree in the Associates in Science, Marcine M. Bellinger Willis. Melissa Lynn Benzine, and she is graduating with a perfect 4.0. Rena Renee Bradshaw. Boyd Cadell. Vicki Scott Franklin. Arista Davina Johnson. Joyce Ann Johnson McKinley McIntyre. Joshua Lee Moorhead. Christina Marie Smith. Melinda Doris Smith. Michael David White. Justin Scott Wilkes. Stephen H. Wilkes. Molly Elizabeth Worthen. Christina Rose Worth, and she graduates with a perfect 4.0. Graduating with a degree in the Associates in Applied Science, Business Technology, the accounting option, Deborah Jean Buchanan. Under the banking management option, Lisa Gail Morgan. Under the management option, Pamela S. Cornwell. Marlena Dawn Krotzer. Peggy Marie Overfield Frelix. Russell Allen Jones. Under the Management Information Systems option, Gina May Elder. Christy D. Walker. Kimberly K. Yates. Graduating in nursing, Sherry Adair. Kelly Joe Beavers. Pamela Drennan Belt. Jasmine Nicole Cummins. Sherry Francis English. Christina May Falk. Buffy Michelle Free. Joanne B. Hutchinson. Lisa Dawn Kidd. Amanda Michelle Leach. India Estes Lewis. Teresa Gail Ligon. Roxanne Marie McClure. Diana K. Mills. Kelly Jean Reed. Tina Renee Spears. Isla Ann Kitchen Watkins. Graduating in Office Systems, Amanda A. Allgood. Donna Jo Allen. Judy A. Alsobrook. Tara Connor. Marion Householder. Jessica E. McAlpin. Marla McGee. Casey Lynn Prescott. Danielle Chavette Sanders. Tina M. Wilson. Johanna Bess Zeiler. Graduating in Physical Therapist Assistant, Jeffrey Wayne Alcorn. Lori Jane Catoin Black. Joni Lee Durfee. Mary Lee Kishel. Hey. She's one of ours. Barbara V. Shelton. Kimberly A. Steinbrink. Angela K. Wilson. And Tana Zimmerman.
Will the candidates please rise? By virtue of the power vested in me by the Commonwealth of Kentucky, the University of Kentucky, and the Kentucky Community and Technical College System, I hereby confer upon you the associate degree. You may now move your tassels to the left side. Congratulations. And thank you. Please be seated.
I'm not going to ask you to stand again now. But at this time, I do want you to join me in recognizing our Teacher of the Year this year, Gerald Watkins. Gerald, please stand. Gerald won this award in 1997, and the students say Gerald is an inspiration and a teacher who cares. So, congratulations, Gerald. The Phelps Award for Teaching Excellence is given each year to a member of the Arts and Sciences faculty who has demonstrated the best qualities of the teaching profession. This award was made possible by a generous donation from Clyde and Linnell Boyles. This year's recipient is Constance Frank, the Associate Professor in Humanities. Stand up here and let me say a little about you. Constance is a teacher who is very innovative in the classroom, whether it be the conventional classroom, the stage, or the virtual world of the internet. Her speech, her interpersonal communications classes, and her theater classes, they all require critical thinking, but you can also visit those classes, and Constance has the application to critical thinking in practice. She has developed 2 new internet classes, Introduction to Theater, and she is breaking new ground with her course in speech over the internet. But she is always making sure of quality controls, and she will have those students doing speeches to community organizations and videoing them and chatting about them over the internet. So she is breaking new ground. She also works with students on the Open Door. That is a periodical student writing published by our college. And Constance has been active in bringing the elementary, middle, and high school students onto our campus. She has done this by developing study guides that the teachers use with the students in preparation for our theater presentations seen on campus. We think that Constance is a faculty member who works with the students, excels with them, and takes on new challenges. Congratulations. Paducah Junior College established an award last year to recognize the technical and instructional services faculty, and this is a vital group to our college, making up half of our faculty, and they are certainly leaders within our college community. This year, the PJC Technical Faculty Award goes to Alan Schaefer. This award emphasizes quality, promotes academic excellence, and it rewards competence in the classroom. And Alan certainly demonstrates those traits. Alan's student evaluations are exceptionally high, and students make comments such as, "I think this is the best teacher I've ever had." At midterm, Alan works with the students individually to assess their academic records, and he provides tutorials throughout the semester in business law, accounting, and again his students say, "I wasn't considering business as a major, but now I have decided to go into that field." Alan is also very active in the community, serving as an advisor to nonprofit organizations. Alan's colleagues say he provides superior instruction and always puts the needs of the students first. Congratulations, Alan.
Each year, I select members of the college family to receive the President's Medal. This award provides me a way of recognizing individuals who have given a great deal to the institution and whose dedication has moved us to the great position that we are in today. There are 3 President's Medals. Ask for a leadership job to be done, and one name is always among the lot. Lisa Stevenson. Expect the job to be done right, and one person is always at the top of the list. Lisa Stevenson. Look for someone who respects authority, but who is not cowed by it. Lisa Stevenson. These graduation exercises tonight are due to her fine work and her organizational skills. And so are numerous student leadership organizations on this campus and across this state and across this nation. They have her to thank for putting those things all together. And she mentors and prods the worker bees, of which I am occasionally one. And she devises better ways to do almost everything. One mark of great leadership is taking responsibility while always giving the credit away. And that trait I have watched her come to master. We have watched her grow, first as a PCC student, then as a somewhat brash new teacher, and now as someone who both loads the barrels and carries the water too. And what she does best is she demands that our institution stay focused on our mission, our students, and that we prepare them for the leadership in the business world that is changing at a blinding pace. Congratulations. The second award goes to someone who has been at Paducah Community College for over 3 decades, Kathy Wood. I can't navigate these mortarboards. Kathy has been at PCC for 3 decades. She is the epitome of the professional educator. Her students are always first. She insists on quality performances from them, from herself, and from the college leadership. She is firm in her convictions, and trust me on this one, when she expresses a strongly held belief, we all sit up and take notice. It would be folly for me to dismiss a Kathy Wood opinion. Professor Wood has the respect and admiration of us all. Probably as much as anyone else at PCC, she could ride her wave of credibility for the next 10 years or beyond without having to alter a thing or take on any new tough assignments. But as I said, she's a professional and she reflects the character of this outstanding faculty. And so it was with great joy this spring when she submitted her name as a candidate for the next chairmanship of the Humanities Division. And of course, all of us, faculty, president, dean alike, enthusiastically endorsed that candidacy. Here in part is what Professor Wood wrote in her application. Quote, I believe that active learning is essential from the cradle to the grave. I believe that encouraging students to discover the relationship between disciplines such as music and mathematics or theater and psychology fosters comprehensive long-term learning. An atmosphere that encourages cooperation and connection helps us to discover more about our institution, our students, one another, and ourselves. And I believe that a sense of balance in education is important. Educators need to balance innovation and tradition, technology and the classics. In the rush to embrace the future, the lessons of the past, embodied in the classic works of literature, art, and music, should not be discarded. At the same time, we educators need to explore new ways to present our subjects to meet the varied needs of an increasingly diverse student body. We should encourage one another to learn the technology that can involve us in the type of distance learning that will best serve our students' needs. Technology and tradition can exist and thrive. That is what our students get when they come to PCC, and that is why we will remain a great institution. Thank you. And one President's Medal is presented to someone who is not a member of our faculty, but a member of our community as an outstanding citizen volunteer. In the past, this award has gone to such great individuals as George Crounce, Fred Paxton, Warren Rosenthal, and my favorite of all, Darlene O'Hara. These are a few of the truly marvelous people who are not employees of the college, but who have done great things for us. Tonight, it is my privilege to recognize yet another great leader and dedicated performer, someone who nearly every one of you know, but I'll bet few realize the time and the love and the performance that he has brought to our college. Louis Michelson. Now, I must admit that Mr. Michelson first came to my attention during a Christmas season many years ago. And it was not really Louis that I noticed. It was those TV commercials featuring sparkles. Remember those commercials? Louis in a Santa hat, I think he had on a Santa hat, and Sparkles, the Michelson's jewelry spokesperson. Months later, I had the honor of meeting and getting to know my friend and seeing firsthand his great love of humanity. I will not invade his privacy by telling you all that he does for our community, for if he wanted you to know it, he would have told you about it himself. But I will mention two things. Last year, the Paducah Salvation Army opened a badly needed new facility, entirely paid for through private donations. And who led that charge? Louis Michelson. And I think all of you know that at PCC we have a very successful and fun gala and golf tournament, which he orchestrates and co-anchors. Since he took over, we have provided nearly $500,000 in additional scholarships, and we have made hundreds of new and loyal friends. Throughout June, July, August, and September, Louis Michelson can be found telling the college's story to nearly every vendor in the region and getting the great auction items that we have come to be known for. For that, he received no compensation. He shuns praise and constantly thanks me for the opportunity to do what he does. In return, what he does get is he owes every vendor in the community a favor. And every time they have a cause, they come knocking on his door because they gave to us. Louis, I thank you. And while I don't feel quite the same way as I do about Darlene O'Hara, I do admire how both of you love humanity and how much you give to your fellow man. I thank you for all you do for Paducah Community College. My pleasure. Now it's my opportunity to say just a few words to our graduates. Of course, we're proud of you. That goes without saying, and I hope you are proud of yourself. And since this is my 10th year as president, I'm going to make a few confessions. They say that's good for the soul. And in keeping with some of the remarks from General Newton, I had goals too. I had three boyhood dreams. And I wrote them down years ago, and here's what they were. First was to lead a superior organization. The second was to earn enough money, and he said it was all right to want to be a millionaire, to earn enough money that I could send my children to college and that my family would be well cared for. At that time, I set my goal at $15,000 a year. I will have arrived if I did that. And my third goal was to pilot an F-104 at Mach 2. But as the country song goes, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. My second confession is that I love country music and bluegrass music. I love the old stuff and the new stuff, and someday I think I'll give a speech that talks about nothing but the double entendres in the titles of country music songs. One of my challenges to you comes from one of my favorite country songs, and it's this: that you've got to stand for something, or you'll fall for anything. And I hope that as you go through your life, you find a cause that you can rally behind, and you can use your success and your knowledge and your leadership and your power to stand for something. Because if you do not, you will surely fall for anything. And we need great leaders in this country. And as the general said, you are our hope for great leaders and great leadership. On behalf of the faculty, I want to encourage you to always come back to us. Today is a time of lifelong learning. No sooner do you know something and it is obsolete. You are ignorant no more in your field, but unless you continue to learn and to grow and to depend on this great faculty, you will become obsolete as well. Determined to learn forever, determined to come back to us often. There is no greater joy in our lives as educators than first to see you graduate and second, to see you come back. Congratulations to all of you. We wish you nothing but the very, very best. And someday I think we'll end these convocations with my favorite Kentucky song, but we won't today, Norman. Blue Moon of Kentucky. We'll do that one day. I do ask that all of you stand now and sing My Old Kentucky Home, and then when we're finished singing My Old Kentucky Home, if you will allow the recessional to pass before anyone leaves, and then join us in the Student Center for a reception honoring our students and give you an opportunity to meet our great general.